Hey everybody, welcome back. It's time for another altered playing card, part of my altered playing card challenge. So we don't have very many people participating, so if you'd like to join in, jump in at any time. It's really kind of fun and it goes pretty quick. So I just started with that Johnny Be Good card and I'm putting a couple coats of gesso on there and drying it off in between. And then I have some Tim Holtz collage paper. It's called typography. So I just pulled a piece of that off the roll and I'm going to apply it to the face of the card with matte medium. And I'm going to speed parts of this up because in the interest of time and boredom, you don't need to watch me gluing and drying. So I'm just speeding parts of it up. Now I'm just taking off the excess paper from around the edges of the card. And if you don't like the rough edges, you can just use scissors and trim that off. I just ripped it off and I'm just using my paper distresser and going around the edge of the card just to distress all the edges. It just gives it more of a worn look, and when I ink the edges, it just gives the ink more to grab into. Which I'm going to do right now. So I have archival ink in sepia, and I'm just going to use the dauber and go around the edges just to get some color onto the card. Going for the grunge, you know me. And then I'm just inking the very edges of the card as well, just by pulling it across the ink pad. So I'm just adding another layer of matte medium. I like to do this, it just kind of protects what I've done so far so that if what I do next I really hate, it makes it easier to wipe it off. I also inked the back of that card a little bit, and I'm just going to put some matte medium on the back of that as well. Now I have two colors of distress paint, peeled paint, which is the green color, and wild honey. And I'm just dabbing some of that onto my glass mat, and I'll add some water. And I'm just going to drag the card and plop it and smush it and get some color on the face of the card. Then I grabbed the wild honey and I put it right into what was left of the green. And I'm going to spray it again with water, but not as much because I want that yellow color to stay stronger. But I'm going to dry the green first before I dab it back into the yellow. That way the colors don't intermix. They stay pretty clean and separate. So just dabbing it in until I get it everywhere I want it. And then just dabbing off the excess so it doesn't take forever and a day to dry. Now I want to bring some of that sepia tone back to the edges of the card, so I'm just going around the edges again with the ink dauber. I also dabbed the back of it into the yellow. And then I had a few pieces of that collage paper just left over that I ripped off the edges, so I just decided I might as well use them up and put them on the back of the card. So I'll just put those down with some matte medium as well. You know me, nothing goes to waste. Rather than throwing them in my pile, Figured I might as well use them. So then I just put some of that peeled paint along the top edge on the back of the card and just let it drip down. Added the water and let it drip down just to get some color on the back. That's all I'm going to do on the back, I think. I think that's all I did. I just used a baby wipe just to dab some of it off to let some of that collage paper show through a little bit more. And dried it off. Now I have transparent red iron oxide in a high flow acrylic. And I'm basically just going to do the same thing on the front, but with that color, spray it with water and just get some drips running down the face of the card. You know I love my drips. Drips and grunge. If I have both of those at the end, I'm happy. So I went through those pieces that I showed you the other day that I got from Mad Fox and pulled a few little pieces out that I thought I would like on this card. And there was a little piece of washi tape on the envelope that she sent everything in, so I just pulled that off and stuck it on the top of the card. But some of the parts were a little too bright or white, so I'm just adding some ink to just tone those back a little bit before I glue them down. I just tore a piece of that ticket off. It's like half of the ticket. And then that little man, his face and hand were just a little bit too white, so I just hit it with a little bit of ink too. And then I have that Corn King stamp, which the color was perfect, so I decided to put one of those on. And then also on the envelope that she sent everything in were a whole bunch of pieces of this really super old newspaper, so I peeled one of those off and I'm going to put that down kind of as a base along the bottom. Just putting everything down with fluid matte medium. And again, just speeding up the gluing process here so that this doesn't take so long to show you. You know how to glue. And when I went to edit the video, there was a whole section that was just really blurry of me putting the Stabilo pencil. I just put it along the right-hand side of the man and kind of along the top of the stamp and then activated it with water. And I'm just stamping "Live Your Life" on there. And I added that little red grommet in the upper corner. And I'm going to take a Neocolor 2 crayon in Payne's Gray and just grunge up the edges a little bit more. This is a little bit brighter than what I usually do, so I decided it needed to be grunged up a little bit more. And I'm just activating that crayon with a baby wipe and then getting some on the back as well. And that's it. Card number 4. I hope you like it. If you do, give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd really appreciate it if you did that. And in the meantime, go make some art and alter a card. Bye.